Hey, quick question before we start. What was the name of that card game Blizzard published back in 2014?
Welcome to the end.
This ends now!
You asked for it.
Armor! Lightly inside!
Hearthstone, a children's card game that makes a fully grown adult like me consider throwing his PC out the window. So pretty good compared to most card games. Now, if you've never played a card game before, you might be thinking, that sounds For anyone not familiar with Hearthstone, allow me to go over some of the basics. Hearthstone is a card game that plays off a mana system. Every card has a mana cost, shown on the top left of the card, and the mana available to you is shown on the bottom right of the screen. It starts at 1, but will increase by 1 every turn, up to a max of 10. This means during the early turns, you can play cheaper cards like this.
Side effects? No. Trust me.
Nothing crazy, but it does get the job done. And later on in the game, you can play slightly more impactful cards.
The scourge will wash over this world as a swarm of death and destruction!
I did not see that coming.
Typically, in order to win a match of Hearthstone, you will need to reduce the opponent's health to 0. You can achieve this by summoning minions to attack your enemies. They have their own health and attack stats, which can be seen at the bottom of their cards. Although, if this isn't enough, you can also cast a wide variety of spells to help swing things in your favor. And finally, Hearthstone also follows a class system. When making a deck, the first thing you'll have to do is select a class. The class you choose will determine what cards you have access to, and provide you with a hero power, an ability that you can activate once per turn, granted you have the mana for it. And now that you've got the basics down, let's get into some more interesting things. What's more interesting than playing Hearthstone? Winning in Hearthstone? If you've ever played a card game before, then you know exactly what a win condition is. But to those of you who don't know, a win condition is the way you intend to win the game. In other words, it's a plan. Are you going to summon hordes of minions to overwhelm your enemy? Or maybe one big boss monster that's just too much to deal with? Hell, if you really want to, you can even just throw hundreds of spells until they explode.
It is finished.
Win conditions can be pretty much anything. Admittedly, some work better than others, and some are just... Really, the only limitation on them is your imagination. So let's talk about deck building, and how to approach it. Or at least, how I approach it. Deck building. The process of building your deck. A process I find many new players dislike. But why is that? Options. Options are scary. Quick question. Have you ever heard of the paradox of choice? Now, I don't blame you if you haven't. It's not something that comes up in everyday conversation. So here's the general rundown. The paradox of choice is that the more options you have, the less likely you are to choose. Every option provides a different outcome, a different consequence. When choosing between two options, you will have to accept that no matter what you select, you will always miss out on whatever choice was remaining. But what if there was a third option? Then you have to accept that you miss out on not only the second option, but a third option as well. You can only choose one, but now you miss out on two. The more options you have, the more options you lose. And that only gets worse with every option you add. So imagine now you're playing a card game with hundreds upon hundreds of different cards, and you can only fit 30 in a deck. Tell me, where would you even begin? The win condition. This is the heart of your deck, the foundation which everything else is built upon. If you're ever struggling with choice, ask yourself this simple question: what do I need to win? Knowing your win condition means you know exactly what you need to do, narrowing down the number of cards you will have to select from. Are you pulling off a combo? Then run cards to buy you time. Are you pushing aggro? Then don't worry about the late game. Find the win condition to find your deck. Alternatively, you could just throw in a random card and click autocomplete. Then don't play Quest on turn 1.
They can handbook.
Don't play Quest. Literally all the same. Like, I just...
Oh, no.
I'm scared to swing in case it's eye for an eye. Oh, here comes a 1-1. I sure hope it doesn't turn into a 3-3. Oh my god, another one. I didn't see that one coming. That's crazy. That's not the right Reno.
Do you just have all of them in this deck? Wait a second, where's the other one?
In my f***ing deck! What do you think I'm waiting for? You play 1 mana cards because you can't count higher than 2. Ready? Here comes a horse trainer. Yep, they're all the same. Literally all the same. They share 1 brain cell.
You're playing Reno!
No. Alright, this one's not making it in the video. So it's just a lot of boring plays. There's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can do. If you're terrible at card games like me, then get used to seeing this screen. Although, if for some reason you would rather not, you're in luck. If you want to improve at Hearthstone, you're in the right place. But first, we need to address what you're struggling at. And in my experience, it's typically 2 different things. The first being the quality of your deck, and the second being your ability to pilot a deck. If you're struggling due to the first issue, then this could be because of your collection. Hearthstone offers players the chance to collect cards and build an expansive list. However, this means many players' collections may be lacking. And if this is your issue, may I recommend gambling. For the small price of your entire life savings, you too can have the latest legendary cards. And thanks to the recent update to the store, and not mercenaries, spending money on a digital card game has never been easier. All you need is your parents' credit card number and the 3 funny digits on the back. Don't forget kids, you can only lose 100% of what you make, but you can win over a gazillion. However, if you're struggling due to the second issue, then this is what we in the business refer to as a skill issue. Unfortunately, there's no way to fix it. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing. You just don't know how to take full advantage of it. So allow me to introduce you to the world of gambling. I'm such a terrible influence, I swear to God, dude. If skill is an issue, then just remove that factor from the game. You'll hear people say, you gotta play around this, or don't overextend this, don't drop all your life savings on Genshin this. Well, let me tell you this. Skill is just a crutch for people who can't rely on luck alone.